Is a full-scale war between China and Taiwan coming in 2025? Some experts say yes, and others say it's already begun, just without the bullets. Either way, one thing's clear: tensions have never been this high, and the clock is ticking. China's made its intentions crystal clear. Reunification with Taiwan isn't just a goal, it's a promise, and not in the distant future. The year 2025 keeps coming up in military circles, war games, and political briefings. Why? Because that's when China's military, the PLA, is expected to be ready for a potential invasion, not just capable, ready. But before we talk timelines and war scenarios, let's step back for a second. Why is Taiwan so important to China? Since the end of the Chinese Civil War in 1949, Taiwan has operated independently with its own government, military, and elections. But Beijing views it as a breakaway province, part of its sovereign territory. They've never ruled it, but they insist they must reclaim it, peacefully if possible, by force if necessary, and that's not a bluff, it's written into their national policy. Taiwan, on the other hand, sees itself as a thriving democracy. Most of its 23 million citizens have no desire to be ruled by the Communist Party. They want peace, yes, but not at the cost of their identity or freedom. And that resistance is exactly why Beijing is ramping up pressure. So what's actually happening on the ground? China is sending warplanes near Taiwan's airspace almost daily, sometimes dozens in a single day. Their navy is staging massive drills just off Taiwan's coast. Submarines, carriers, amphibious ships. The message is clear. We can surround you anytime we want. It's psychological warfare, and it's working. Taiwan's military responds by scrambling jets, activating defenses, and holding its own exercises. But here's the reality: Taiwan knows it can't match China one-on-one. That's where the U.S. comes in. The United States doesn't officially recognize Taiwan as an independent nation, but it does sell it weapons and has a long-standing policy to help defend it. It's called strategic ambiguity. Basically, the U.S. won't say exactly what it'll do if war breaks out, but it keeps everyone guessing. That policy worked for decades, but lately, it's looking less ambiguous. President Biden has said multiple times that the U.S. would defend Taiwan if China attacked. Each time, his team walked it back, saying nothing's changed. But China heard the message loud and clear. So did the rest of the world. Now here's where things get real. War games conducted by military analysts show that if China invades Taiwan, the conflict could become one of the deadliest of our time. Cities flattened, tens of thousands of soldiers lost on both sides, and if the U.S. joins, possibly Japan, maybe Australia, it could spiral fast into a regional war, or worse, a global one. But even if no bullets are fired, the damage could still be massive. Taiwan is the global capital of semiconductor manufacturing. We're talking chips that power everything from iPhones to fighter jets. If that supply chain collapses, the global economy would feel it instantly. Prices up, production down, entire industries frozen. So why is 2025 the year people are watching? A leaked U.S. military memo from early 2023 suggested that General Mike Minihan, head of the U.S. Air Mobility Command, believes war with China over Taiwan could happen by 2025. He pointed to China's political calendar, military advancements, and rising tensions. His exact words, "My gut tells me we will fight in 2025. Now, this doesn't mean war will happen, but it means serious people in serious positions are thinking about it, planning for it, training for it. China has its own reasons for urgency. Internally, it's facing a slowing economy, youth unemployment, and increasing social pressure. Some analysts believe Beijing might see a short, victorious war as a way to boost nationalism and distract from domestic issues. But here's the thing: wars aren't clean, they're not controlled. Once they start, no one knows exactly how they'll end. That's what makes the situation so dangerous. The risk of a misstep, an accident, or a miscalculation is growing. Think about it, all it would take is one misfire, one missile hitting the wrong ship, one pilot crossing the wrong line. Suddenly, it's not a drill anymore, and yet there's still hope. Dialogue continues behind the scenes. Diplomats are talking, military leaders are signaling rather than striking. Taiwan's new president has said he wants peace, even as he strengthens the island's defense. The U.S. and China still communicate even if the conversations are tense. But time is short. Every month, the pressure builds. The drills get bigger. The rhetoric gets hotter. The moves get riskier. And the year 2025 looms like a deadline no one wants to admit is real, but no one can afford to ignore. So, what can we do? Stay informed, stay aware. The more people understand what's at stake, the harder it becomes for leaders to drag us into war without accountability. Whether you're in Asia, Europe, America, this affects all of us. Economically, politically, and morally. Do you think a war is coming in 2025? Could diplomacy hold? Or are we on a collision course with something we can't stop? Let us know in the comments. Share your thoughts, your fears, your hopes. Like this video if it helped you understand the bigger picture. And don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth coverage of global flashpoints and what they mean for your future. Because this story isn't over. It's just getting started.